Oh my goodness, y'all, and I told y'all last video that Belle really got at Bastion. This time, she really laid it out for him. Whew, stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Christina with Read.Pray.Disney. Here on this channel, we like to talk all things Disney, from planning to packing to pins to books. So if you want to come on the journey with me, I'd love to have you. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. All right, Rebel Rose, y'all. We're getting close to the end. Oh my gosh, I can't even. I'm gonna tell you now, spoiler, PG-13. So if you've been watching with your kiddos, there's gonna be a word. Just one, but there's gonna be a word. I got a whole lot of feelings, but there will be a word. So FYI. Okay. Have the kids left the room? All right. Y'all. I wanna pose a question to you. And answer it in the comments below. Do you think that because you remember we have the cursed with Beast, and curse, Belle essentially helped break it and so forth. And we have this enchantress that's kind of lingering, through mirrors. Do you think, I wrote this down too, is it a curse to remember when everyone else forgets? Is that the curse? I don't know. But just give me your thoughts after you hear everything else. Okay. All right, so we're doing chapter 21 today. 21. So if you don't remember, we're at the point where, again, Bastion's still out in the countryside doing his thing. Belle and Marguerite are out at the castle. Things are moving a little slowly. But Bastion tried to essentially discredit Marguerite, saying that, she's messy, and that she doesn't, she end up like yelling or gossiping with somebody or throwing a temper tantrum all over France or Paris and so forth. He just doesn't really, he's being really mean towards her, but Belle doesn't really believe it. So there was all of that. But then there was also the fact that Belle kind of put the hammer down a little bit. She told pretty much everyone, all of the advisors and so forth, that, you know what, she's going to have her salon. She's going to do what she's going to do. If they don't like it, they can go. That's it. All right. So we get to Chip. Chip is with us today. So Chip is in the library, and he's playing. He's Chip. He's a kid, right? So he's playing around. He's pretending to be king, building a throne and so forth. And Marguerite and Belle, they're having a good time in the library cataloging stuff. But Belle seems to be a bit distracted, and she's rightfully so distracted because she's feeling guilty over the fact that Bastion told Belle, some information about essentially her best friend, right? And she's never had a best friend. So think about that. And she's feeling some kind of way. She's feeling guilty about it. And so Marguerite kind of senses this turmoil, and Marguerite's being nice about it. She's like, oh, are you okay? You must be missing Leo. You have to be missing Leo. We can do this another time. And Belle's like, yeah, we can do this another time. Let's just go off and, let's just go do our own thing. She goes, hey, Belle, or she goes, hey, Marguerite, you know what? I'd like to come with you out into the town. Because remember, Marguerite, that's one of the things that Bastion told her, that Marguerite is going out into the town and bragging that she knows Belle and so forth. Belle doesn't believe it, but she still has that little nugget of doubt. So she essentially invites herself to go with Marguerite. And Marguerite's like, ooh, no, you can't come with me. And Belle's like, why not? And Marguerite's like, look, the friend that I'm going to go see, they're not really, I got to prepare them for you. So no, you can't come. But next time. So of course, she's completely sus right now, right? Like completely sus. So, and for those older folks listening, that is suspicious. Okay, she's suspect. So she's completely Belle is like, that seems wrong. So what does Belle do? Belle's like, she says, she's thinking to herself, she goes, I don't want to mistrust Marguerite, but you know, Bastian said this, but I hate that I feel this way. Oh, what should I do? What should I do? How do I know what Marguerite's going to do? Don't you have an item in your castle that's set? You can say, show me Marguerite, and it's going to show you. But no, Belle doesn't do that. Of course not, right? She's got to do the hard thing. Belle puts on a disguise once again, right? And goes out to town. Follows Marguerite out into town. Y'all, I don't know. So anyway, they get into town, and you know, Marguerite she loses her, but she hears villagers walking through, and they're like, hey, you know, there's this new, what do they call him? Have y'all heard about the new, they say there's this new revolutionary guy from Paris, and he's speaking tonight. And I'm like, oh, he's speaking. And so they're all like scurrying off to this secret meeting in the village. And Belle's like, ooh, hopefully that's not Marguerite. So of course she goes and into the tavern place. Actually, it's called Altier de, y'all, in these French words. I can't even tell you how to pronounce this word. It's D with some things at the top and the E, L, B, a bar. We're gonna say a bar, right? So they were in this tavern thing, and she's like, oh my gosh, who's speaking? And she feels like, so you remember Belle's all in this hooded thing, and she feels like her heart's going. She's like, I hope it's not Belle. I hope it's not Marguerite. I hope it's not Marguerite. Please don't let it be a Marguerite. And y'all, guess who shows up? It's LeFou. LeFou is up there on the podium rousing these people about a revolution. Where did you come from? Where have you been? I'm shook, okay? So little bitty old LeFou has got some wisdom, you know? So Belle notices him, and he doesn't see her, but then she listens to him. And so essentially what he's saying is, oh, hold on. Okay, so it says, he goes, this version of LeFou had been This version of LeFou had been hollowed out and scraped bare by the life he had lived since that fateful night. He says, sisters and brothers, I come to you tonight with a simple message carried in the hearts and minds of our compatriots in France, all the way to our village and beyond. It is a message of change and hope. It is a message of revolution. LeFou, what happened to you? Like, I know losing Gaston is a bit much, but it was just Gaston. You know what? You can't discount his feelings, right? Hey guys, I know it's a quick interruption and I'm so sorry, but I realized after going through editing, I never circled back to the question, right? The question at the beginning that I asked you about, which was is it a curse to remember when someone else forgets? And excuse my kids in the shower, so I gotta do this quickly. I never went back and talked about that, which was a really significant point in chapter 20. Or was it 20, 21? What chapter are we in? Chapter 21. Here's the thing. Belle, let me go back to it. So first of all, two things happened. Belle realizes that Bastian has been obviously keeping more secrets, or he doesn't know about these meetings that are happening. Second thing is, y'all are in the middle of hearing about LeFou in this situation, but here's the thing. Belle realizes, or she knows, that no one in Avion remembers anything that happened when they stormed the castle and all of that. So it says, so the Thurum in the air reached a feverish pitch When the agitator took the stage, Belle was immediately relieved to see it was a man. But in the next moment, her chest tightened again, and she realized it was someone she knew, someone she hadn't seen since the night she broke the curse. She froze completely as LeFou took the makeshift pulpit. He was thinner than she remembered, angrier too. Gone was the mischief. Gone was any spark of mischief he used to carry. And then I already told you the fact that he's been hollowed out and so forth. But what is interesting though is that Belle goes on to think that Belle, there we go. So she said, Belle had always pictured LeFou as the harmless sidekick to Gaston's villainy, but when the dust settled after the curse had broken, she had wanted justice for her father, for Leo, for herself, but it was not to be. The mob that had been led by the now dead Gaston couldn't remember marching on the castle, calling for Beast's head. They couldn't remember standing idly by as Gaston and LeFou attempted to have her father committed to an asylum. They couldn't remember any of the things they had done. But Belle would always remember. Leo let go of the pain long before she could. She wasn't sure if she ever would. It wasn't as if justice could be served to those who could not recall the crimes they had committed, and reminding them of their sins would mean revealing what else they had. Oh, turn the page. Oh my gosh, I hate when that happens, right? What else they had forgotten, that their prince had been a beast and they had wanted him dead. So I ask you again, is the curse truly gone, or has the curse manifested in something different? Now, I will say this, you're going to hear the rest of the couple of chapters, but just think about that. Just in general, in life in general, is it a curse to remember when no one else will remember? Is this a burden that she's going to have to bear? Will she ever get peace for her, and justice for herself and for her father? I don't know. But it makes you think. It really does. Okay, so enjoy the rest of the story. Bye. But really what happened? So anywho, yeah, Belle decides, this is too much. He's like my mortal enemy, which I don't see how LeFou could be really your mortal enemy, but she doesn't say mortal. She does call him her enemy. And so she leaves, and she's getting ready to leave, and then she runs into the baker. You remember at the beginning of the movie, like the baker that's baking bread. She runs into the baker, and she's like, whatever, his Jean? And he's like, Belle? And you could see on his face that he wasn't sure if he wanted to out her or let her leave. But all of a sudden, he gets hit in the back of the head with a piece of wood, like a 2x4. Why is it that every time somebody's in a crowd, somebody gets hit in the back of the head? In France, where Avion, what's going on in Europe? Why are we hitting people? But anyway, it's Marguerite. Marguerite comes to Belle's rescue, and Marguerite's like, come on, we need to go. And Belle's like, you just hit him. And she's like, yeah, I know, we need to go. She's like, but you just hit him. He's on the phone. She's like, dude, we needs to go. They leave, right? So Belle shook and so forth, and they get to a place, y'all, my heart. I feel bad for what I said about Marguerite earlier in the few videos before, because I said that, she seems suspicious, like she's holding secrets or whatever. She is carrying a big secret. So Belle has to, confront her friend as to why she's there. And so Marguerite's like, what are you doing there? Are you part of this? And Marguerite's like, no, I'm not. Or Belle's like, no, I'm not a part of it. I was following you. You were following me. So come to find out, Marguerite, yes, has been going into the village and has had a secret friend, and has been, sneaking off and so forth. But the thing of it was, Marguerite has a friend. So essentially, what's going on is that Marguerite has a female friend, a lover, and she just wasn't sure how to approach that, how to say that, how do you even bring that up? And I find it commendable that our author is bringing up, she's not making it a huge issue, but she's making a point, and I find it commendable that she's doing that. So anyway, we come to find out that after, the dust settles and the smoke clears, part of the reason why Bastien is acting, I think, the way he is because Bastien is the one who told Belle, about Marguerite and the fact that she went all over town, saying whatever. And because Belle's pouring now, confronting her guilty feelings to Marguerite. Since Marguerite said that, now Belle's telling her, well, Bastien said this, this, and this. He said that you were, screaming and yelling at some countess or Comtesse de something. We're gonna call her Stacy. Okay, that you was at the party and you was yelling at Stacy and so forth, and you went around town throwing temper tantrums. And Marguerite's like, I don't feel like I should have to defend myself and my actions, but really what happened is that her and her girlfriend had a falling out, and the girlfriend essentially turned tail and went around Paris twisting stuff and telling lies and whatever. And so Marguerite was fed up with it. And, of course she had words with the friend and so forth. But Marguerite doesn't understand why Bastien is acting like this towards herself, Marguerite. And then they apologize. They get back to the castle and so forth. They apologize to each other. They make it, Belle's accepting. It's just, I'm so sorry that I forced your hand. She's like, yeah, I really commend Marguerite and our author, because Marguerite did not let Belle get away with letting Bastien plant that seed of doubt. She said, I would have told you. I really would have told you, but not like this. And that wasn't fair of you to do that. No, it was not. No, it was not. So, yeah. Okay. So anyway, they get back to the castle. That's 20, so they get back to the castle, and they making things right and so forth. And something that kind of struck me too is that Marguerite kept calling Belle the Queen of Avion. She says, by the way, what were you doing in there? Not by what were you doing in there, but that was no place for the Queen of Avion to be. And she referred to her again as the Queen of Avion. And that doesn't escape past Belle, because later Belle mentions, she's like, why does she keep calling me Queen? But I'm gonna leave that alone. So I find it interesting that Marguerite really is in Belle's corner. She genuinely is in Belle's corner. And I'm rooting for this friendship. And I'm rooting for the fact that I'm hoping Marguerite can help Belle center herself. And because remember, I told y'all, Marguerite is everything Belle wants to be as far as adventurous and free, so to speak. And Belle is what Marguerite wants. Marguerite wants a sense of home and comfort and family. So I think they see each other in each other, and not in a romantic way, but in a really solid friendship way. And I'm very happy about that. So, all right, next, chapter 22. Y'all, two things happen in this chapter. The Enchantress and Belle takes beast mode up to a whole nother level. So let's get into it. All right, so in chapter 22, because I gotta get situated, because there's gonna be some reading that I want to do to you, and you can bear with me, y'all, because it's good. Okay. Emma Theriault, I'm loving you in this story right now. Like you're doing my girl Belle. Like I wasn't at first, and then I was like, but okay. Anyway, so Belle and Marguerite, they're back at the castle. They're talking and so forth, and they kind of go back, and anyway, they're talking. But they go off to bed. And Belle, she gets to bed and she goes to sleep, but then she kind of wakes up, but she's not waking up. She's dreaming. Belle is like been pulled into some sort of dreamscape, right? And the Enchantress is there. I've been waiting for some more magic, and true, and this isn't a whole lot of magic, but this is what Belle needed. She needed Marguerite in her corner, and she needed a push. This enchantress, she's pushing her. So it says, so they meet, and where'd it go? Okay. So the enchantress tells her, you must not wait for others to save Avion. You must trust your instincts and become the queen you're capable of being. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Belle remembering what the enchantress said before she went to sleep. So part of what before Marguerite and Belle go to bed, because I'm rereading that part, what happens is they just have a conversation about the salon, because Belle is thinking maybe she should not host the salon, because it seems like there's so many villagers that are getting riled up, and Marguerite kind of talks her out of that. She says, that the salon is probably the best thing you can do right now, because the people of Avion, they really need a voice right now. They're following some guy, LeFou, which Belle's like, I don't even know how what he's doing right now. Like, she doesn't know that, and we don't know that either. But Marguerite, she says that the point is that in a few days' time, some of them will be in this very library, armed again, with their best ideas and ready to exchange them with scientists and philosophers. Instead of being shouted at, they will be heard. And I thought, yes, Marguerite, thank you for putting that in perspective for her. Okay, so then Belle goes to bed. And then as she goes to bed, she's having this like waking dream or so forth. And she, I say runs into, but the enchantress kind of reveals herself, but like in this far off silhouetted kind of thing. And Belle asks her, is this a dream? And she's like, no, this isn't a dream. And so she asks, who are you? She goes, I'm a friend. And why should I believe you? The woman stepped closer, her arms outreached like a plea. You are entitled to believe what you will, Belle. But I ask that you at least listen before you decide that I'm your enemy. And so Belle tells her, okay, touche, carry on. And then it says, I'm here to warn you of what's coming. There is a fire burning through France, and if Avion succumbs to its flames, nothing will stop it from spreading across the world. So Belle she's like, hold on. What does France got to do with everybody else? Why are we even having this conversation? Because she's not making that connection, right? So and then Belle says, there are kingdoms and empires in the world that should be forced to change, but doesn't mean I need to do it. So the enchantress tells her, terror marches in the wake of this fire. Thousands will die. People will turn on one another. Kingdoms will betray their allies. The instability will have far-reaching consequences. Avion will cease to exist as you know it. It is up to you to stop the fire from spreading. That's a lot to put on Belle's shoulders. Like, that is a lot. I don't even want that. That's a lot. You're not talking just about France and Avion. Now you're extending. That's a lot to put on Belle's shoulders. Like, Miss Theriault, why are we putting so much pressure on Belle? But it gets better. So Belle asks her, what is she supposed to do? She goes, I told you once before to trust your instincts. You've suppressed them for so long, you no longer recognize them for what they are, a warning. And that is very true, very, very true. Because I know for me, instincts play a big part in my daily life and in who I am. And I tend to trust how I feel. And Belle, she's lost that a little along the way. So Belle asks her, like, look, why are you speaking in riddles? You just can't say what you need to say. And so the enchantress is like, my foresight is limited, Belle. I only know what I have seen in vague visions. You wearing a crown, your kingdom burning, Europe crumbling under the weight of the violence of this revolution brings. All I can do is wait and watch as each step you take on this path either obscures or enhances what I can make of the future. I cannot tell you what to do or whom to trust. Those are decisions you must make for yourself. But one thing has been clear from the start. Any vision I have I have of healing, of avoiding this fire begins with you. Dang. People, really? Enchantress, that's a lot to put on somebody. So she starts feeling like this rumbling and stuff. And anyway, so she wakes up, like they wake her up, but it's Mrs. Potts waking her up. And it went from all of that to next scene, beast mode, right? Not like real beast, but Belle Beast. BB? Maybe we call her BB? I don't know. But so Mrs. Potts is waking her up. She's like, Belle, Belle. And Belle's like, whoa, what's going on? Where am I? You know, what's happening? And she's like, you need to come quick. Bastian is putting Marguerite out the castle. And Belle's like, what? No. She goes, yes, girl, come on. We got to go. So they go down the hallway, and Mrs. Potts is like, oh, wait a minute. I gotta check on Chip, but you got this, right? And Marguerite's like, yeah, I got this, because she hears them yelling. And there's all this yelling and scuffling. And she gets there, and these guards are like forcefully trying to put Marguerite out the castle. And Bastian's like, yes, this is what Belle told us to do. And Belle's like, what the, excuse me, no, put her down, leave her alone. I didn't tell you to do anything. It's like, but I thought you had mentioned that you wanted her dealt with. She says, no, I never said. And he stops, and he realizes that, ooh, I'm overstepping, right? So he's trying to justify why he's doing this, and come to find. Okay, hold on. I got tickets. I gotta get here. Okay. Here we go. So, and again, side notes, in the next 2 to 3, 4 minutes, if you're listening with your child, please earmuffs. Okay. So she was, she goes, I never once asked you to banish Marguerite from the castle. He goes, perhaps not in so many words. You wanted her dealt with. So I'm dealing with her. She goes, that's preposterous. I have never, ever asked. And Bastian began to realize that he had lost his grip on the situation entirely. It would seem my reading of the situation was incorrect. My apologies. And Marguerite, you know, she's shaking, but she's ready to kick some butt. And then, so Belle's thinking about, you know, because she just woke up from the dream, and she's thinking about how was she only just realizing it now that there was no reason to trust Bastian. She looked over to the guards. You are never to take an order from the Duc de Venesis ever again. Do you understand? She was relieved to see that they nodded without hesitation this time. He goes, Belle, be reasonable. And she goes, you do not address me unless it hold on. Do that again. She says, you do not address me unless it is to apologize for being a duplicitous ass. What? Yes, she did. For once, Bastian had nothing to say. She goes, your days on the advisory are over, Bastian. You never belonged on it in the first place. I don't know what you're playing at or what your goal is. Perhaps you only wish to sow chaos. Perhaps this is all a game to you, but it doesn't matter. You're done playing games with the people of Avion. And he's like, and she goes, you're a guest in this castle, nothing more. You do not speak for me, and you most certainly do not speak for the king. Do you understand me? And he goes, but I was only doing what I thought was best. She goes, you have no idea what's best for Avion. You have never known. For all of your supposed wisdom, you have never once walked through our villages and towns. You have never spoken with the people who are the backbone of Avion, or the peasants you so blithely and exclusively refer to. One might even think you have forgotten I too was a peasant if you weren't continually reminding me. And then Cogsworth stepped up and he's like, sir, I think it is time for you to go to your room. What? Yes, y'all. Yes. And he says, Belle, but if you just let me speak. And she goes, go to bed, Bastian. You've done enough harm for one night. Where did this come from? Yes, that's my Belle. Oh my gosh, she put Bastian in his place. She stripped that man of his power. She told, I mean, and he ain't got nothing to say. He ain't nothing to say. All he could do was go night-night. He ready to go night-night. He's going night-night. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm loving Belle for this. So it continues on with the fact that Belle, Belle and Marguerite talking, and Belle's like, okay, so how did this even happen? And Marguerite's like, well, after I got done talking to you, I went past his room or I went to his room to confront him about all the stuff that he's saying about me. And Belle's like, why would you go to him by yourself? And she's like, okay, yes, I know, I get that. Wasn't a smart choice, but I did it, and that's what happened. So what ended up happening was Bastien said, hey, oh yeah, glad you're here, because I got a letter for you downstairs in my office. So that's how he got her to follow him, and then essentially got the guards to go ahead and try to arrest her and get her out of the castle. Like, wow, power trip for real. But here's the thing about that whole situation. It's weird as to why would he even need to do that, because they were fine, right? She goes to confront him, but then he gets angry. Here's my thought. I think the woman who she had a relationship with, and I haven't read ahead, so I don't know. This is just my theory. The woman that she had a relationship with, I think maybe Bastien, was maybe in love with her. Like, why else would you get so angry? Love makes you get angry. I don't know. Just a cute thought, but an idea there. But anywho, that's essentially it. They essentially leave the night. And Marguerite, she goes, firstly, your salon is going to be a massive success. I don't think you should cancel it. And the wheels are in motion, Belle. Y'all, Emma Theriault, our author, yes, you gave Belle what I wish you had in the beginning, but I understand she needed growth and she needed to get there. She needed some help. But I love this roller coaster that you're putting us on. And right now, where Belle's at, I think Belle's in a good headspace. She's got the salon going, so she's going to bring the people of Avion together. She's got a strong woman in her corner. Her husband's gonna be coming back at some point, but she's there. She's there, and I'm hoping that she can keep this going. Now, as far as this magic of the Enchantress goes, I need a little more magic. Like, I need more and more magic, because remember, this is supposed to be, from the very, very beginning, this is supposed to be setting the stage for other books in this series about essentially women, and, because it's the Queen's Council, and all these queens throughout these Disney fairy tales, they're all interconnected somehow. So this will be interesting to see how the rest of that gets weaved in. And I feel like, because at first I thought this was going to be more magical, but it's almost, I don't want to say political, but it's it's real versus magical. Like, there's hints of magic, but that's not the overarching concept that's running through this story. So at least for right now, we'll see. All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching today. I really, really appreciate it. If you love this content, and I hope you do, go ahead and hit a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, have a magically blessed day. I'll be praying for you. Bye.